Hey NFT people, it's Zach from Polygoonz with another video today. I have a very special guest. I have Benny, the lead developer from Rarity Garden. Hi Benny, how's it going?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm fine. How are you?
Very, very good. Thank you so much for joining us. As you know, I'm a big fan of Rarity Garden and the various tools that you have available for the NFT community. I've minted several NFTs on the platform. I love the multi-send tool and all your V1 apps. But you guys have been very busy lately and working on your V2 apps, working on your Rarity plugin, and of course your NFT collection and token. So I want to hear all about all this stuff. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started working on this amazing project?
Yeah, okay. So I basically got into the NFT space in 2020, mid-late 2020. Back then, I had the idea to provide creator tools for the NFT space because I knew it's gonna go big, yeah, like most of us, which it did. And I sort of knew that creators wanted tools, yeah, all kind of tools. Some were pretty much predictable, some you couldn't predict, but I basically started there from scratch with creating that you have the ability to create your own collections, that you can then mint your own NFTs, that it basically helps you to create actual collections without the need of coding. Yeah, and besides that, I moved on to with NFT farms where projects, for example, that have their own project token, uh, let their users basically stake their tokens. They're gonna earn points, and then they could uh, yeah, claim NFTs that from what they were staking. Back then, I did that with the Unity project. I was the original founder of the Unity project. Um, went quite well so far. Um, but the turning point for me has been basically when PFPs were showing up. Because until then, I was thinking like a lot of people, which I must admit I was wrong, that 1155 would quickly take over, yeah, from EOC 721, which it didn't. With the emergence of PFPs, this was basically off the table. And back then, with Unity, everything that's what's now called the V1 apps was basically aiming at 1155 and absolutely not on rarities. So, and with these PFPs, rarities actually became a thing. So I was looking at the situation, I was looking at the market, looking at people, and I quickly realized it's all about rarity in the end. And then I more or less developed the idea to build all future tools that I personally wanted to create, yeah, um, based on rarity. So everything emerges from rarity, yeah. Um, and that means that, for example, if you go on Rarity Garden, the first thing you're going to see when you open a collection is it's focused on rarities, right? And over time, and that's actually already started. Probably talk later more about that. Decorate then basically these collections with further utility. Um, for the utilities such as farms, such as trading tools, yeah. Um, so that you're basically going to have a complete set of tools at hand, not just for the collector but also for the creators, yeah. At hand to manage your NFT tasks in this rarity-driven space, yeah. So that's basically what Rarity Garden is aiming at. There's a lot of stuff in developments right now. A lot of stuff has been developed and is in active use already. Yeah, that's basically where I'm coming from, where I'm with at the moment with Rarity Garden, and what we're headed with.
That's fantastic, and yeah, the utility that you're providing to the community, even with your V1 apps, as I said, is just super helpful. Um, and yeah, I use them all the time. So you mentioned this the whole thing about Rarity. I wonder if you could show us the browser plugin that you actually
Mm.
created for Rarity, because it is awesome and
Mm.
actually very helpful for collectors. And as you say, new projects who might have challenges getting their projects listed on some of these bigger Rarity indexing sites.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, stances regarding projects. Everyone, except of course it's against the law, but we were listing everyone who would likes to have their rarities calculated. Yeah, that we're not taking money for this. The service is free. Yeah, because we believe that rarities should be accessible for everyone. It should be include some standards. We don't want to, especially we don't want to have hidden rarities, like these quote unquote official rarities, where the rarities are basically calculated based on I don't know what. That happens unfortunately very often, and they are not transparent with how the rarities came to be. We're going by what's now accepted as standard, yeah, in the rarity calculation of the rarity calculations. And if we ever get to a point, we just had that recently with other side, where there needs to be some adjustments, yeah, so it makes sense with the semantics. We're going to go public with it. We say what exactly did we change in the algorithm, yeah, to make this happen, yeah, so everybody can see how it came to be. And in the same way, we like to have the collectors access to the rarities. So we are one of many in the meanwhile who are offering such a browser plugin. As you can see here, it's available from the Chrome Web Store, but it's totally free. It's super simple. You don't need to own anything and to pay anything to use it or to set up anything. You just install it. You go on OpenSea, yeah, and then it's working. Yeah, and it's basic. It's going to get extended over time, of course. But our stance is it should be super easy to use and should give you a first glimpse of what's going on. Yeah, in regards to Rarity, if you visit OpenSea, for example, while you're having it turn on. And if you need power tools, if you need more information, then you would just go on Rarity Garden,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let me show you how it looks like. So um, for example, you see that here it's super simple. We're actually not we're actually having it as overlay for the image itself, and then you see the actual rank. It's linked to Rarity Garden. You can go on Rarity Garden through that link and get further information, right? You see the floor. Okay, the floor here is at the moment very low, so it shows 0, but that hopefully changes over time. And you see the 24-hour volumes because we think it's always worth to look at the 24-hour volume. I don't know why most leave that out, but we keep that in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's basically to get a glimpse on what's going on. Of course, in the activity stream on OpenSea, you can also see, of course, not for the bundles, but for the individual ones, you can see the actual ranks, yeah, and see like basically which rank is setting at what price point, for example, and get an idea how the market is developing. Yeah.
That's
So
it.
that's one of the tools, right? That we are offering right now for
It's
free.
such a great tool, and so nice that it integrates so seamlessly with OpenSea as well.
Mhm.
That's awesome, Benny. You're showing us the unicorns there, which is
Yeah.
your new NFT collection for Rarity Garden. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. Yeah, the story behind the unicorns is a little bit crazy because let me explain it like this. Rarity Garden, you can also see that on the Rarity Garden roadmap. Is The special thing about it is that Rarity Garden has a dynamic roadmap. So there can things be added when we're, for example, seeing that certain tools are required, like there's an immediate requirement. or there's an interesting idea that needs to get explored and experimented with, right? Then the project is going for that, and then the roadmap changes, of course, right? This was actually here the case because one evening I was thinking like how to save on gas with the typical minting processes, and there was in that time when Azuki came out with its EIP 721A implementation, yeah, gas saving implementation, and I wanted to explore if you could actually add to the savings, yeah. And then I developed right at the day I developed the idea of actually gas saving through simple way of gas saving that saves data transfer between you and the blockchain basically. And I came up basically with the idea that you are sending a micro amount of ETH to that minting contract, and that micro amount represents actually how many you want to mint from that collection, right? And this was quite funny. I think I have even the page here somewhere where it's how it started. Give me a second. Yeah, here it is. You see all 10K have been minted. It was quite funny back then, but what happened basically is you would send then this amount of ETH straight to the collection contract, and it would return you 10 unicorns, yeah. And if you would send 9 and 9 and so on, right? So when the idea was then basically to get rid basically of this input data that you usually have, yeah, when you mint, you have a mint function, you have a parameter with the amount, yeah, and of course potentially other parameters that would bloat this and bloat this off. And my idea was to set this to 0, and this is basically what this leads to, right? So you're having no input data, and in numbers, this means like around 30 to 40% saving of gas, right, upfront. So that minting contract would then basically have the advantages of Azuki's approach plus this approach. So that cost of already an incentive for people just to mint because it was really cheap. There were people saying that's the cheapest mint I've ever seen, yeah, and the gas prices were not that low at that time. And just to give you an idea about the offset of things, in a regular minting contract, simple minting contract, the usage for this transaction was at 112K, right? And in the Rarity Garden version, it was basically 80K. That was 33% offset from a regular one. And then on top, what you got from Azuki. So what happened? That was quite funny. When I published this, I was basically quickly publishing the site. Hey, there's a cool experiment, right? And published that, was thinking, okay, maybe 1,000 gonna get minted in the next couple of weeks, who knows, right? Just want to try it out. Went for a coffee, came back, a few K got minted. What the hell is going on, right? So, and then it turned out after like a couple of hours, no collection got minted out. The only problem was, despite it being the experiment being a success, I didn't have the art ready. Yeah, like you usually would, right? You would plan like things, you know, you would plan it, and didn't have the art, and we sorted that out. Basically, we were able to come up with some really nice art for the unicorn, so we could do a reveal, and the people were quite happy about it. The drawback was because the mint was so cheap, there was no money being taken, no fee, nothing. That I think around about 570 people were minting it. So for the future, it's basically the idea is then basically to give these unicorns a good amount of utility, right? So that these owners finally can let go of these unicorns and give that to people who want to use our services. So that's how we're trying in the future to distribute that further. Yeah. so that more and more people are gonna collect in these. Yeah, I mean, you can see on either scan how it has been. There was this deployment, then it started to think, yeah, here around about here, I published it, and then you see what happened, right? So it just went crazy from here on, right? It
Yeah,
was
for sure.
just
I remember
got more
because
and more and more and more.
by the
Yeah,
time I saw that that you had released it, it was sold out.
yeah, yeah. But you
Um,
see how it goes, right?
yeah,
So
for sure.
I see everyday collections that are really great. They're doing an awesome job. They're building a community, and yeah, they are not selling out, not minting out, right? And then there are things like that happen drive by, yeah, and they are instantaneously minting out, right? That's the space, right? Was the case here, and but I think it was what the experiment was working. And was my takeaway was that there is an interest in such experience by people,
For
and that
sure.
but that basically supporting the idea of Rarity Garden, because a lot of stuff that's happening on Rarity Garden is so trying out new things, be crazy, have fun with it. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, congratulations on quote unquote selling out of your unicorns. Can you tell
Yeah.
us a bit about the utility that you have planned for them with respect to your platform and the things that you're developing?
Yeah, so there are already utilities for the unicorns right between the developments of certain things. I had the idea to for collection marketplace collection marketplaces, right? And I wanted to use the exact same gas saving mechanics that I was using with the collection, yeah, with the collection mint, yeah. So basically came up with the idea that that people can activate the collection for trading, and then when they're activating it, let's say you are a collection owner, yeah, you're getting on Rarity Garden. Let's say you're the your Tipsyverse collection owner. You can activate that collection for trading, and then you can set your own fees. There are no royalties anymore because the Rarity Garden doesn't earn with it, so it's just called fees, right? Even for the owner, yeah. And factually, it's royalties for him, right, or her, but he owns them basically the marketplace and earns like exclusively all the all not the royalty, all the fees, right? And when you create when you activate such a marketplace and you're not the owner, you will earn a zero point 0.5 trading fees flat until the owner is coming to you and asking you to then I want to purchase it or whatever, because this is represented as NFT and it's tradable on OpenSea, for example. Yeah, it's called garden centers. Yeah, so not to, without getting in too much into details, but what allows you is then to save a lot of gas, especially on the buyer side, because this exact principle is being used. Yeah, gas saving principle. There's a ton of gas savings. There's a ton of fee savings. Um, and that's basically to incentivize people to trade through basically this platform. There's of course a drawback when, like in many things, um, from my point of view, it's not much drawback because it's completely decentralized. But if you put something on sale, right, it costs. Yeah, doesn't cost much because the gas savings are in place for that too, right? But with the fee savings that you have, it's canceling each other out, and you even have some room left to sell under floor and still collect more than you would, for example, on other marketplaces. Yeah, because the fees are potentially high. Yeah, and we are not earning on any fees there, on any trading fees there. Yeah, the fees are solely going to the owner of that collection marketplace. So, and in order to activate that, you need unicorns. Yeah, you need unicorn. You can use one unicorn within 24 hours to activate one. Yeah, marketplace plus the wallet. So there's some cooldown, so you cannot like buy them all away, and not buy but activate them all away. And that was already the first utility before even the reveal, yeah, came to be for the unicorns.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, and this is such a great platform for that. And like you say, that gas saving feature is really valuable as well. That's great. And so, from what I understand, the unicorns have different rarities, and the different rarities also have different utility, or how does that work?
The rarities themselves, they don't. It's potentially possible to give different utilities to different rarity levels. Yeah, but how it works basically with the unicorns themselves, is let me show you the collection. We are having we're having one-of-ones. These are not revealed yet. We basically split the reveal, yeah, between the one-of-ones and the regular ones, because as I mentioned earlier, right, we didn't have the art yet ready, and this will be soon, and this will be soon revealed. These will have a special purpose, yeah, at some point, yeah. These ones, they have their rarities too. You see, there's starting from rank 21, there are rare ones too. They're actually really rare ones. But there is not yet an idea to utilize the actual rarities, right? But what we're utilizing those unicorns for is for further use cases and services on Rarity Garden. We are about to right now. There's something really nice for a trading tool available for the for collectors, and in order to use that, they will need a unicorn to use that, like an access pass, for example. Yeah. With the one-on-ones, they will be able to use that tool, but there are already ideas to utilize the one-on-one further, but this is only affecting like 20 owners, right? And the majority of the unicorn owners, they will need those unicorns as access passes for current and future use cases on Rarity Garden.
That's very cool. So owning any unicorn will give you access to the sort of the pro suite of tools that you're developing.
Exactly, there will be there will be pro tiers, yeah. Without giving too much away, for the trading tool, it's gonna be something that's gonna be bigger. It's not yet a thing for the other side. Yeah, it has nothing to do with Universe. That's something that's solely meant for the unicorns.
Cool. And can you tell us a bit about the integration that you're working with for the other side, Metaverse?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, the other side, it's a very interesting thing because of course we are looking further. These unicorns, they're not just to they don't exist just to as passes. I think that would be kind of sad. Yeah. So the idea is then here basically to bring them to life in the other side metaverse. Yeah. We were probably among the first ones that applied for for SDK access. Well, there is soon an announcement to be expected as soon as we have that in our inbox. Yeah, we get more insight in the details, but I can tell already now that there are certain standards. Yeah, that you need to go with when you're developing 3D VR AR stuff. For example, you're using utility. You're using Unity, for example. You're creating assets. These are all standardized things that you're using, yeah, to create apps for the metaverse. And then you would use then that SDK that they provide to connect to the metaverse, right? So the development can start already. And very interesting part of this is that the development for the other side is part of my personal university thesis, which will play a major where other side unicorns and in general NFT applications in the metaverse will play a big role. So this whole package, universe token, other side, um, plays a huge role and will be scientifically backed. Yeah. So there will be a paper at some point. They'll most likely get it translated into English, right? So we're basically approaching the NFT space, metaverse space from a scientific angle, but also will have the utility and have an actual product for the metaverse at hand. Yeah, as soon as the thesis is completed. I don't want to give exact dates, but think of it about it in roughly 3-4 months. We will have the first results that are usable.
That's awesome. I think it's so cool that you're actually doing this whole sort of process as
Mm-hmm.
your thesis, and it's research based. That's very cool, and I haven't encountered any other project that's working in
Yeah,
that way. So that's very
yeah.
unique as well.
The thing is, what I stumbled upon in pre-researching the spaces, I realized that the metaverse didn't had its run yet. Yeah, it's if you take the VR and AR software hardware space combined, yeah, right. I know metaverses are not just about VR and AR, but that's where it will lead to. If you look at these numbers, that was what my research was showing, it's getting dwarfed by what the NFT space achieved, right? So, and yet both are the perfect couple. So you're basically combining something that has had huge success, is here to stay, with something that has so much on the upside, the metaverse, right? And this cannot be ignored, actually. And I think that that's what we're describing on the roadmap too, is that being speedy in that process is of utmost importance. So that's why we are, right when we saw the other side and their actual plans, what they're going for, what they're trying to achieve, um, it's it's not possible to ignore that any longer. Yeah, and this, even if right now things might look bearish for the one and the other, this is total normal process. But that's the time when you build things, right? And
Absolutely,
this
yeah.
is the right time for it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so last thing I want to hear from you is about the Universe token, which you just released. And I understand you released it to holders of the unicorns. Is that right?
Yeah, there was an airdrop to the holders of the unicorns. Every unicorn holder is seen as a clan member. So what we are trying to do is to support clan members. So why we're calling it clan members? Because metaverse, other side, there are plots, right? There will be it's naturally that there will be factions emerging, right? Um, we're calling or basically every unicorn holder as a clan member. So what we're trying to achieve is then basically to support clan members. So these were the first persons who got served with that airdrop, right? And some part of the universe token got released in a fair launch, yeah. And what the universe token is supposed to basically become as a bridge between NFTs and the other side in its first implementation. I cannot rule out that there will be multiverses, because there will be so many metaverses in the future, countless ones, and you never can rule out that you need to be open to embrace others too, right? But for
For
now,
sure.
we're rooting for the other side as a reference implementation of what we're trying to do. And there will be, it's also laid out in the roadmap, of course, asset marketplaces, because these things will be extremely important. Also tools, trading tools that you will need within the metaverse. Think about it like not just dealing with plots, but also dealing with items within that metaverse, right? And how to organize them. You will need certain kind of statistics, right? Stuff that you cannot cover with regular NFT tools, yeah, because it's going to
Right.
be its own ecosystem. So that's already things you can foresee, and we need universe tokens there, that you can claim certain things, yeah, that you can do certain things, yeah, that you convert certain things. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things to do that cannot really be yeah, implemented with NFTs anymore. You need something that is divisible, right? You need something that's sort of lighter than an NFT, yeah, quote unquote lighter. So
Sure.
that's why utility tokens, in my point of view, is the way to go there.
Oh, that's very interesting and really good points as well. Okay, well, thanks so much. If somebody wants to pick up a unicorn, what can they look forward to coming down the line?
Yeah, I would before anybody tries to ape in into something. It's always I'm always telling like you look get into the Discord of Rarity Garden. Talk with the people. Check out our website. We have the roadmaps laid out there. We have actually two roadmaps because we're separating the roadmaps between Rarity Garden utility and other side unicorn utility. And that can be, I must admit, confusing because it's a ton that's going on. It's very dynamic. So before you intend to buy anything, join our Discord, join a discussion, take part in discussion, bring in some of your ideas, and then make your decision. If you actually want to, you will see them basically where you can get the different assets, unicorns, yeah, or how it works in Rarity Garden. It can be that you just need the rarity information, yeah. Then you just need to then you just use the rarity information, for example, for your favorite collection. If you are a creator and you want to get your collection listed with rarities, there's a form that you can fill in. You can approach us directly and ask for getting included, and we're going to do that. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
actually a community that you need to approach. So
For sure, for sure. And yeah, your Discord is great. You're always in there answering questions for people,
yeah,
which is awesome. So it's so great to see the strength of that community and your support of the project and everything you're doing. Benny, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. We love what you're doing, and we'll be certainly keeping a close eye. And yeah, just want to wish you best of luck with everything that's coming up for you and the Rarity Garden team.
yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciated it. Looking forward to see to have a discussion once more. I don't know, in a couple of weeks or so, months or so, and then see where we are at. Cool.
For sure.
Thank you.
I look
Thank
forward to
you.
it. Thanks so much, Benny.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.